Hey traders, checking in on the stock market today. Weakness in QQQ in the morning, but a V-shaped bounce into the close has daily bullish reversal candles forming in a handful of places. Healthcare sector all-time highs, uranium sector back in the spotlight. Let's check it all out. All right, a fairly quick video today. We're just checking in on a bounce attempt. So on the daily time frame, we know on the weekly, first the weekly on the S&P 500, we're scouting a weekly high or low. What do we need for indication that a weekly high or low is being set? We need a daily trend change back to the bulls to be shaping up, because right now we are in a daily downtrend with the lower high and lower low. So I am using the 12-hour time frame on the futures charts for clarity because it shows me that nice and clear trend, and I can see that we had a bounce underway today, but I also know that we're just looking for a lower high to be the result of this bounce. Anything under 45.97 is a 12-hour lower high. So if I look at SPY, I can see SPY on the daily time frame, bounce candle, double bottom with the low of yesterday by 6 pennies, but anything under 457.83 is just a daily lower high. So the bulls have to show up and see a big enough bounce to create the space that they can form a higher low and higher high next time they consolidate. Of course, if we set another daily lower high and then break where we just came from, 443.47, the daily downtrend continues, the weekly retracement, of consolidation becomes more significant, and the bears keep their short-term control. So I am on Team Bear in the short term as long as we're in a daily downtrend. But again, as I mentioned in the video yesterday, I know I'm scouting a weekly high or low. So I'm keeping an eye out for signs on the daily time frame and the shorter term time frames that the weekly high or low is forming. So today was a nice bounce, but I know a lot more follow through is needed if I'm going to believe that the weekly high or low is being set. Looking at the NASDAQ, it's the same deal, but a bit weaker. 12-hour clear downtrend. Just going to be looking for a 12-hour lower high to be the result of any bounce. And the daily is in a downtrend. So QQQ, anything under 369.31 is just a daily lower high on this bounce. One more note on QQQ. I usually only use the 1-minute time frame for earnings reactions and FOMC reactions, high volatility. But in the current market environment, I find the 1-minute time frame very useful in the first 15 minutes of trading or so. And today was just a really good example where the bell rang and we had a stair-step pattern with the higher low every single 1-minute candle for 9 candles in a row. That pattern then broke. Consolidation started. We bounced right off 1-minute EMA 12. We double topped at the high of the day and then rolled over. That was enough information to be able to place, if you're a scalp day trader, of course, to be able to place trades around in that action. And I generally don't like trading in the first 15 minutes unless I have clear levels to play off of because of the volatility and the amount of back and forth that we generally see. But when you're zoomed in, you've got the levels to play off of. So there was a bear somewhere out there who top fished 355, made a bearish entry, put their stop over the high of the day, and then we pull back a very quick 0.7% or whatever it is. And if you're using a leveraged ETF, that can be a 2% move. So 1-minute time frame in the first 15 minutes. But again, that's if you don't want to be in year 1 of learning to trade and on the 1-minute time frame. I didn't use the 1 and 2-minute time frame until I was maybe 7 years into trading. 5-minute was as low as I went. So definitely don't want to get in over your head. SMH, daily bounce trying to take place. Stair-step pattern with a lower high every single day for 7 days. We're watching for that pattern to break, for a daily bounce to be underway, keeping in mind that we will just be looking for a daily lower high to be the result of that bounce. But we're keeping an eye on this short-term bounce. Hourly trend change to the bulls is needed. Break the lower high everyday pattern. That's what we're keeping an eye out for into tomorrow. And XLF is the same thing. Lower high every single day for 7 days. Bullish reversal candle on the daily today. We will need to confirm the hourly trend change, but a pretty significant bounce. And I'm watching for that daily bounce in both of these sectors tomorrow or Monday. So that's something to keep an eye on. And again, well aware that we will just be scouting daily lower highs to be the result of this bounce, but we're watching for that short-term shift to take place. Healthcare is on fire. The daily bull flag follows through and we are at all-time highs. So this is one of the most important sectors in the broader market as far as the weighting it has in the S&P 500, and it's in blue sky breakout. So again, there is no fear in many sectors right now. Definitely fear in big tech the last couple of days. But there is no fear in healthcare. There has not been any fear in the energy sector. Speaking of which, XLE is set for volatility. How can I say that? Look how tight we are. We know volatility is coming to XLE next week. But it's right up there near its highs. We know the utilities, the defensive sectors are up near their highs. Utilities have been on absolute fire as well. So handful of sectors doing well. And it's just a question of, can these sectors that matter most to the S&P 500 hold up well as well? Or does big tech drag everything down? Because we know big tech is the most important sector. And over the last, not today, but pretty much Thursday, what's today? Today's Thursday. So Tuesday and Wednesday, big tech definitely had some fear there. So it's still all about big tech for me. But just aware that, again, it's not a fear environment. It's not all sectors at the lows at the same time. We're not dumping. There's a lot of shifting going on. And there's definitely money flowing in some places and money flowing out of others. So another place where there is some attention, uranium. Back to watching uranium. Look at CCJ. We had a triple top at 30.49, 30.40, and 30.21. Triple top rejection. And breaking over that level, we just hit the highest price in 11 years. That's extremely notable. Now, if we have a red day tomorrow, we're going to be cautious of a rising wedge, because that would mean a bull break with a lack of follow through. And if we look at URA, another uranium name, we can see we can easily break above this, but if it's a red day tomorrow, we will be watching this pattern. But the uranium names are on the verge of another leg up. And again, it's just another place to be keeping an eye out for bulls. So I personally am fine trading bull or bear, regardless of what the instrument is. But some people like playing bullish, and they're better at it than shorting. I'm better playing bullish than shorting. I like bounces. But there are places where you can be looking bullish, because we are in uptrends on every single time frame in a lot of these other sectors. So just be aware of that. Rather than beating my head against the wall trying to go long growth names that have been weaker for 6+ months, there are strong places to be long. XLV now has a back burner on the table. First hourly oversold conditions. We're going to be watching for a bounce. Utilities. Let's look at the utilities. How has it been responding to hourly oversold conditions on this uptrend? You can see the last time it hit it was the best time to buy, and we've gone up a lot since then. 15% plus. Has not hit it in a while. So there are places for different trading styles. I'm not going to be looking for back burners and growth names, but I can be looking for back burner bounces in stronger places. IWM, trying to get a daily bounce going. Tons of space for a daily lower high. So even if the bulls do confirm an hourly trend change, which is what is needed to have any confidence in a daily bounce, we zoom out, we scout a daily lower high, anything under 209.44. So again, if bulls are going to set a weekly high or low, they will have to see a big enough bounce to create the space for a daily trend change. If we don't get that big enough bounce, we're not going to change the daily trend. If it's just a little bear flag bounce, the bears are going to stay in control. So again, it's one day at a time for me, but I know what I'm looking for in terms of bulls showing me that a weekly high or low is forming. And I also know that they have work to do because bears are comfortable still on a handful of daily charts. Biotech sector, trying to set the daily high or low, unable to do so just yet. But anything above 89.87 will do it. And then if they confirm that daily high or low, we'll keep an eye on resistance of 94.36. Are we still stronger than IWM? Pulled back a little bit today in relation. And again, I just look at the XBI divided by IWM chart, and that shows me that IWM was a bit stronger than XBI today, which has not been the norm over the last week. But again, it's something I'm keeping an eye on. And same thing with Tesla. I'm watching, is Tesla going to continue showing us relative weakness against QQQ, or is it going to level out and keep this strength? And Tesla tried to get a bounce going today, but we need the hourly trend change. So zoomed in, we need hourly trend changes back to bulls. If we get it, we zoom out, we scout daily lower highs, and we watch to see, can bulls shape up daily trend changes back in their favor, not necessarily on Tesla, but on the names that have more clear daily downtrends. Tesla has not set a lower high and lower low yet. It's a bit different. It lost the higher low on the drop, but our other sectors confirmed daily downtrends with the lower high and lower low. MSOS, last hope for the bulls. Weekly trend change attempt trying to shape up, If we do not hold 1767 and break 2150, the bears keep absolute complete control. The only way the beat up cannabis sector, which is part of growth, which is absolutely crushed for 6 to 8 months, the only way that we see a shift here is if we see broader market bulls continuation. We have to set weekly higher lows quickly in SPY and QQQ. Otherwise, this sector will very, very likely drop down to lower lows. So those are the things I'm keeping an eye on. Tomorrow, it's all about the hourly trend change, back to the bulls needed. And then from there, we zoom out and watch our daily lower highs as we keep an eye on whether or not the bulls are able to shape up weekly higher lows. I appreciate you watching. Do good things, and we'll see you soon.